Should I be a pharmacist? Should I do pharmacy? Should I be a pharmacist? Should I do pharmacy? That is a very difficult question to figure out. As a hospital pharmacist, I want to help you make that decision. So I have 10 questions that you should ask yourself to help you decide. Should I be a pharmacist? Trust me, I had the same question when I was in high school, when I was in college, and it was kind of always looming in my head, like, is this the right decision? Essentially, it boils down to two questions. Do you want to be a pharmacist? And can you be a pharmacist? For each of those two questions, I broke it down to 5 each. So 10 total questions. First, let's focus on, do you want to be a pharmacist? Are you interested in medicine or just overall pharmacology? Do you find the topic interesting, how medicine works on the body and how our body responds to it? And medication pathways. Is there a genuine interest in those type of topics for you? So for me, how I figured that out was that through my college courses, I decided to major in biochemistry. And there was this particular upper division course that was more focused on pathways and pharmacology. And it was a really tough course, but I ended up really loving it. And that was one of my personal indications that, hey, maybe I do want to do this field. Next question. Do you mind working weekends and sometimes holidays? Because as pharmacists, we work in healthcare, and healthcare is oftentimes 24/7. Of course, there's going to be some rare opportunities or niches in pharmacy that can be the traditional 9 to 5. Like if you pursue industry or managed care, those are more office type jobs. And if you're not sure what those are, you can check out my video that talks about alternative careers in pharmacy. But generally speaking, most pharmacist positions, whether it be in retail or in hospital or in clinics, sometimes the hours could vary quite a lot. So as a hospital pharmacist or even pharmacist in retail, there's going to be the mid shift, there's going to be the closing shift, the late shift, and of course hospitals are open 24/7, so there's graveyard, things like that. And of course, we have to provide services on holidays sometimes, especially with healthcare, it doesn't really close. Third question is, are you willing to go through the extra training and loans? Average pharmacy school is about 3 to 4 years, and if you want to specialize or become a clinical pharmacist, you may have to do an extra year of residency training or even 2 years of residency training total. So really have to think it through in terms of finances. Loans is a big decision to make. So for me, I had to take all loans. I didn't have any financial help from my family. So that was a big decision for me. Depending on who you talk to, for some pharmacists, we say it's worth it. For others, some say don't. So personally, it could really vary quite a lot. I'm eligible for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program because I work for a federal hospital. So after paying the minimum of 10 years, the remaining balance will be forgiven. So for me, financially, it was worth it. If I'm able to successfully forgive my loans after 10 years. But we'll see. Do you see yourself working in a healthcare environment as opposed to a traditional office job? So overall, in summary, the 5 questions to help you answer, do I want to become a pharmacist, is 1, are you interested in medicine and pharmacology? Do you mind working weekends and sometimes holidays if you have to? Are you willing to do the extra 3 to 4 years of graduate school training? Are you willing to take out loans for your education if needed? And then do you see yourself working in a healthcare environment? Okay, next set of questions is to help you answer, can I be a pharmacist? Do you work well with others or can you communicate well? As a pharmacist, it's really important that you have really good communication skills because 1, you're not only communicating with patients, you are communicating with doctors, nurses, pharmacy technicians, a whole slew of different health professionals and just people in general. Not only do you need to be book smart, you need to have those soft skills. 2, do you like teaching? So if you think about it, as pharmacists, we do a lot of teaching in our line of work. Oh, we're teaching patients and family members about medication counseling, right? Sometimes we have to precept students, so we're teaching pharmacy students as well. And in a hospital setting, we're teaching nursing about new or different IV infusions, the correct way to infuse it, what rates. We're also helping medical residents, how to put in orders, helping them with dosing, things like that. Oftentimes, we'll be doing pharmacy in-services to different healthcare fields if they have questions about a new medication coming on, or new infusion, a new treatment, new chemo. You'd be surprised by how much teaching is involved in our profession. 3, I think this is very important. Are you detailed oriented? As pharmacists, we're the last line of defense. We're the ones checking to make sure that everything looks correct. The dosing, the schedule, the indication, the instructions, everything. So we have to make sure that everything is correct to the T. Because if it's not correct and we didn't catch it, it's on us. 4, can you think big picture? So I know I said details important, but also you can't just be hyper focused on the details. You need to be able to think big picture also. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that in healthcare, it's not black and white. There's a lot of gray area in healthcare. So you need to be able to have the skills to figure out what to do in those gray areas and how to clinically assess and make important decisions. Because not every patient should be on the same drugs. Everyone is different. Let me emphasize that again. Not everyone should be on the same drugs because everyone is different. So yes, we have clinical guidelines to help us, recommend what patients should be on for X disease state, right? But, some medications, they come with contraindications, side effects, and we have to really account for all factors when we, help our patients. And we have to factor in a lot of things like, quality of life, their lifestyle, things that aren't really included in the guidelines sometimes. Question 5, are you a problem solver? So as a pharmacist, we pretty much put out fires all the time. Oh my God, there's a national shortage of a drug. Okay, now pharmacy has to think of an alternative to recommend to the doctor to prescribe to the patient. The doctor is overwhelmed. The patient has like 20 plus drugs and he doesn't know what they're taking, what they're not taking. So he goes to the pharmacist to help him med rec. Oh my God, he has so many drugs. Can you help me check if there's any drug-drug interactions? What should I look out for? What could be causing this? What are some side effects of his medications that could be causing XYZ? Oh my gosh, my patient's here for infusion, but the infusion's 4 hours. Is there any way we could shorten the infusion time for him? He has to go to another appointment. Pharmacist, can you please help me figure this out? So as a pharmacist, you're pretty much the medication expert, right? So a lot of people are going to go to you for all these weird questions and really weird problems that they have that, you're the person to help figure out. So there's not always a clear answer. There's a lot of investigation, a lot of digging into it and trying to figure out the answer. So for the example, the infusion time, nursing wants to reduce it somehow. Is it safe? Is it possible? So on our end, I have to look up, all the different package inserts for the infusion. If the answer is not there, I would have to look up the clinical trials that led to the medication to be approved on the market, what happened during those clinical trials, did they ever reduce the rate, things like that. Look into our infusion pump system, is it in the settings, do they even allow a minimum or maximum infusion rate or time? So in summary, the 5 questions that help you answer, can I be a pharmacist are, do I work well with others? Can I communicate with others well? Do I like teaching? Am I detail oriented? But am I also able to think big picture? And lastly, do I like to solve problems? So those are my 10 questions to really ask yourself and help you answer the question, should I become a pharmacist? I know choosing a career path is a really difficult thing to go through. And, I hope these questions will help you kind of navigate and find that answer for you, whether it be yes or whether it be no. And even sometimes it might not be clear cut and you just have to take a leap of faith sometimes. I know that was the case for me. So if you're starting pharmacy school soon or plan to apply, I wish you the best of luck and Can't wait to be your colleague in the future.